you break into a sweat with even the thought of having company? I'm here to help. After trying just a few of my hosting tips, you'll be more than ready to say, come on over. Well, today we're shopping at Music Valley Antiques and Marketplace, which is a really seriously antique place. In fact, this counter right here, made out of a door, y'all. And behind the sign, what do we have here?
This is an old vintage antique bed spring that they used to use in the 30s and 40s, and we use it to decorate with. We change the display all the time. It's great for florals and old postcards, whatever you want to do with it.
And this is Stephanie. She owns this fabulous place in Nashville. And tell us a little bit about what you do and how you say you like to reuse or upuse things.
Sure. Well, we are an antique mall located in the heart of Music City. We're in the historic Music Valley Drive area of Nashville, and we have been here for about 10 years. It's about 6,000 square feet, and we're comprised of individual booths and vendors that they hunt for treasures all over the state and even the country. And they are searching for vintage items, antique items, and we do a lot of home decor. So anything that is old and makes you feel good, you can find in this store.
Which is, if you're following my channel, you'll see that I'm constantly trying to use what I have. And this is a great way to use what you have. And so let's go shopping.
Let's do it.
Now, at this particular place, they specialize in books. They have over 10,000 volumes of all different kinds of books to choose from. And if you've ever gone and priced a book recently, they're pretty pricey. And so a $45 book that you might find somewhere else is going to be like $5 or $6 here. And that's why these are great places. And here's an example. They had someone come in who wanted to do a nursery in all Shel Silverstein books. And so they just picked up $5, $4 here and there and turned it into a wonderful showcase of children's books. Or you might be thinking you want a vintage book shelf. Well, here you go. I've been leafing through these. They're like $5 each. This is a great way to get that lived-in look for much less money. Here's another great example of a find. This is a very heavy book of Gothic architecture, sculptures, and paintings. And so because it's so affordable, you can tear this book apart. Now you can use it, of course, for a coffee table book, but you can take what's in it and turn it into art projects, decoupage, framing of specific works. It's just such a great idea, and what a great find. This is also a great place to shop if you are homeschooling, because you can get boxed sets. You can get literary classics. You can get Mark Twain. You can get the kind of books you need for your own collection, not just from the library, but from your own collection that your young readers can read over and over again at a very affordable price. Now, one of my favorite things to look for in vintage shops is vintage linens. They hold up great. They've been around for a long time, so you know they're going to last. And they're generally a good price. So for instance, here is a very heavy-duty 100% cotton linen for $12. $12. If you don't have anything this color, this would be great for a picnic. You wouldn't have to worry about staining it or ruining it. Just take it with you to your winery or on a picnic, and it's wonderful. Here is truly vintage, pink tipped. I have pink china tipped, and I'm always looking for something with pink on it to match that $12. And then you have something like a good old lace, like a Battenberg type lace. This is probably not vintage, but it's really heavy duty and cool. $12. You cannot go wrong rifling through the linen section for this kind of price. Also look for vintage linen or 100% cotton napkins that go great with your vintage look at the holidays. Now, if you're looking to start your antique furniture collection, or if you know that you're going to inherit pieces from an estate sometime in the future, but you want to get started, places like this are great for finding unusual pieces at a pretty good price. Things like this table here, clearly vintage, or this table, vintage, or maybe you know you're getting these chairs and they might be missing one, or you want to have an extra one. Great place to come. So don't overlook the furniture items are on, because quite often those pieces of furniture are also for sale. Now, if you know somebody who has a hobby and you'd like to showcase that hobby, you could do something like this: vintage cameras. I mean, aren't these the coolest ever? And you could create a little display in an office or a man cave or a bonus room that shows off the old version of a new hobby. Remember these vintage, or maybe not so vintage, tins that things came in? Pop the top off. Perfectly good interior. You can store your Ritz crackers in here, or at the holidays, you can bake some cookies, put them in here, stick a bow on top, and it's a ready-to-go cookie mover. You know, when you want to move those cookies out of your kitchen and into someone else's so you'll stop eating them, tins like this are perfect for that. So, for a few dollars, you can get them ready to go. Now here's a clever idea, not my idea, super clever. If you're renting or you're somewhere where you aren't allowed to really tear out the hideous light fixtures, but you want to replace them for a little bit of time, you could take a basket, flip it upside down, run the cord through, and make a lamp out of them, a hanging lamp. Super cheap. This is only $10, $20, $30 for these baskets, or you can even use umbrellas. It kind of has that boho chic look, and it's all yours because no one else is going to have a lamp made out of this exact basket. This is a great idea. It came from Stephanie, who you met earlier, and she said this is all the rage for some crafty, clever people, and I love it. If you have a Florida room or a screened-in porch and you want to do something special in one area, you cannot go wrong with bird cages. They can be hanging, they can be on a stand. This one's particularly good. You might have a stool or a stand like this in the corner and you just want to showcase special birdhouses. I collect birdhouses, but I want them to look more rustic, more vintage. I especially like them to look homemade, almost even falling apart. And so my idea, whenever we get our deck done, is to create a section just like that. And don't necessarily want any real birds coming in and making their homes, but have the look that I might be inviting that. If you have an old sled, winter is the time to drag it out, lean it against the front of your house by your front door. The worse it looks, the better. Just hang some ice skates on there. You can also use fresh cut greenery or old greenery left over from Christmas. Dress up your sled and it just says welcome to anyone who comes to your house in the cold weather. If you're into making cocktails, a vintage place is where you will find vintage shakers. Now, at our house, we have a huge collection. A couple things I want to point out. If it's glass, you can see through it and see what's going on. But this is missing the screw top to hold it in. So you want to make sure of that. But another great option is just the good old metal ones. Now this is for 1 or 2 drinks. It has the lid, everything that you need, and then you get to entertain your guests by shaking up the drink. You can get bigger ones. Also good. We have quite a collection of different sizes and different metals, glass, and we use all of them. So if someone is setting up a bar, or you know they want to set up a bar, or if you are starting to set up a bar, do not overlook this great find.
Thank you for coming. Come back and see us.
Come on over. Now go make someone feel special today.